At 89, Robert Redford finally speaks up about Paul Newman. Robert Redford was born Charles Robert Redford Jr. on August 18, 1936, in Santa Monica, California. Growing up in a modest household, he was deeply influenced by his mother, Martha Hart, a freelance illustrator and commercial artist, who instilled in him an appreciation for creativity and aesthetics, and his father, Charles Robert Redford Sr., who worked as a chemist and lab technician, providing a grounding influence that balanced his imaginative impulses. Redford's upbringing in Southern California exposed him to the vibrant culture of the region, as well as the glamour and mystique of Hollywood, planting early seeds for his eventual career in acting and filmmaking. Redford's early education and formative experiences were equally significant. He attended Van Nuys High School, where he nurtured his interest in drama and performance, participating in school plays and exploring various forms of creative expression. After high school, he enrolled at the University of Colorado, where he initially studied architecture, demonstrating his broad intellectual curiosity. However, his passion for the arts ultimately drew him away from architecture and toward acting, prompting him to pursue formal training in performance. He studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City, a prestigious institution that provided him with rigorous training and introduced him to influential mentors who recognized his natural talent and potential. Redford's acting career took off in the late 1950s and early 1960s with television appearances and small film roles. However, it was during the late 1960s and 1970s that he emerged as a bona fide Hollywood icon. His breakout role in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, opposite Paul Newman, captured audiences' imaginations, cementing his image as a charismatic leading man with a blend of rugged charm and sophisticated poise. Redford's portrayal of the Sundance Kid was not only critically acclaimed, but also culturally influential, representing a new kind of American hero, one who was simultaneously rebellious, introspective, and charismatic. His subsequent roles in films like The Sting, 1973, All the President's Men, 1976, and Out of Africa, 1985, further demonstrated his range as an actor, showcasing his ability to inhabit complex, multidimensional characters and navigate diverse genres, from action and drama to romance and political thrillers. Beyond acting, Robert Redford is celebrated as a visionary filmmaker and advocate for independent cinema. In 1980, he founded the Sundance Institute, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting independent filmmakers and nurturing new talent. This initiative gave rise to the Sundance Film Festival, which has become the premier platform for independent films worldwide, launching the careers of countless directors, actors, and writers. Redford's commitment to creative freedom and storytelling innovation transformed the landscape of American cinema, ensuring that emerging voices could challenge conventional narratives and bring unique perspectives to audiences. In addition to his work at Sundance, Redford directed and produced several acclaimed films, including Ordinary People, 1980, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture and earned him a nomination for Best Director, solidifying his reputation as an artist capable of shaping both compelling stories and the industry itself. In the mid-1980s, Robert Redford continued to solidify his reputation as one of Hollywood's most versatile and compelling actors. During this period, he starred in notable films such as The Natural, 1984, a sports drama that showcased Redford's ability to convey both charisma and emotional depth, as he portrayed Roy Hobbs, a baseball player with a mix of talent, vulnerability, and an almost mythic quality that resonated with audiences. Around the same time, he appeared in Out of Africa, 1985, the sweeping romantic epic based on Karen Blixen's memoir, which demonstrated Redford's capacity to inhabit complex characters within rich, scenic storytelling. Beyond his on-screen performances, Redford also began to increasingly explore his passion for directing. This inclination was evident with the Milagro Beanfield War, 1988, a film he directed based on John Nichols's novel, which allowed him to combine his artistic sensibilities with socially conscious storytelling. In this project, Redford navigated a narrative about community, corruption, and cultural identity, proving that his talents extended far beyond acting into a nuanced, observational directorial style. In 1992, Redford further cemented his reputation as a skillful director with A River Runs Through It, a critically acclaimed family drama that delved into themes of familial bonds, personal loss, and the subtle beauty of nature. Starring Brad Pitt and Craig Sheffer, the film allowed Redford to meld lyrical cinematography with intimate storytelling, illustrating his ability to elicit powerful performances from young actors while maintaining a reflective, almost poetic tone. His direction was widely praised for its sensitivity and artistry, reinforcing Redford's stature not only as a screen icon, but also as a filmmaker capable of creating deeply moving cinematic experiences. 2 years later, in 1994, Redford directed Quiz Show, a project that reflected his keen interest in American history and moral ambiguity. The film examined the 1950s quiz show scandals, in which popular television programs were rigged to boost ratings, and offered a pointed critique of media ethics, corporate influence, and the erosion of public trust. By tackling such a controversial and intellectually challenging subject, Redford demonstrated his willingness to confront complex societal issues through cinema, while also showcasing his precision in balancing dramatic tension, character development, and historical accuracy. Redford continued to navigate the dual paths of acting and directing throughout the late 1990s. In 1998, he both starred in and directed The Horse Whisperer, a film that combined a deeply emotional narrative with breathtaking cinematography of the American West. The story, centered on healing, both human and equine, allowed Redford to explore themes of trauma, recovery, and the restorative power of nature. His work on this project highlighted his unique ability to direct himself while maintaining narrative cohesion and emotional authenticity, further solidifying his reputation as a filmmaker of exceptional insight and sensitivity. In the 2000s, Redford remained active both in front of and behind the camera. He starred in the 2007 political drama Lions for Lambs, portraying a university professor in a story that examined the intersections of politics, media, and personal responsibility. While acting in this project, Redford continued to demonstrate his enduring charisma and gravitas. In 2011, he returned to directing with The Conspirator, a historical drama focused on Mary Surratt and the aftermath of Abraham Lincoln's assassination, reflecting his enduring interest in moral complexity, justice, and historical narratives. The following year, he combined his dual talents once again in The Company You Keep, 2012, a film starring Shia LaBeouf, in which Redford both directed and appeared, skillfully navigating themes of political activism, secrecy, and personal responsibility, and proving that even decades into his career, he remained a dynamic, multifaceted force in Hollywood. On August 9, 1958, Robert Redford married Lola Van Wagenen in a private ceremony held in Las Vegas, Nevada, marking the beginning of a long and complex personal partnership that would span decades. The choice of Las Vegas for the wedding reflected both a desire for relative privacy and the practical ease of the city's wedding facilities, which were already renowned for their efficiency and discretion even in the 1950s. To celebrate with family and friends in a more intimate and traditional setting, a second reception was held at the home of Lola's grandmother on September 12th of the same year, allowing their close relatives to participate in the joyous occasion and create cherished memories. Together, Redford and Van Wagenen had 4 children, each with their own unique life story and connection to their father. Their firstborn, Scott Anthony Redford, arrived on September 1st, 1959, but tragically passed away at just 2.5 months old on November 17, 1959, due to sudden infant death syndrome. Scott was laid to rest at Provo City Cemetery in Provo, Utah, leaving an enduring mark of grief and tenderness on Redford and Van Wagenen's lives. Their second child, Shauna Jean Redford, born on November 15, 1960, grew into a talented painter, demonstrating a creative inclination that mirrored her father's artistic sensibilities. Shauna later married journalist and author Eric Schlosser, forming a partnership rooted in intellectual and cultural engagement. David James Redford, born on May 5, 1962, pursued a career in writing and film production, following in his father's footsteps by contributing to the creative world behind the camera. Tragically, James passed away on October 16, 2020, leaving behind a legacy of storytelling and artistic dedication. Their youngest child, Amy Hart Redford, born on October 22, 1970, embraced a multifaceted career in the entertainment industry as an actress, director, and producer, further extending the Redford family's influence within film and theater. Together, the Redfords have 7 grandchildren, each representing the continuation of the family line and the personal and creative legacy of Robert Redford. Although Redford and Van Wagenen were deeply connected through their children and shared experiences, their romantic relationship gradually drifted apart over the years. Neither Redford nor Van Wagenen ever publicly confirmed a formal separation or divorce, maintaining a private stance on their evolving relationship. However, in 1982, the prominent entertainment columnist Shirley Eder reported that the couple have been very much apart for a number of years, indicating that the marriage had effectively ended in personal terms, even if not legally finalized. Nearly a decade later, Parade magazine reflected the ambiguity of their marital status, stating in 1991, "It is unclear whether the divorce has been finalized," highlighting the couple's enduring privacy and discretion regarding personal matters despite Redford's public prominence. On July 11, 2009, Robert Redford entered a new chapter of his personal life when he married his longtime girlfriend, Sybil Zagars, in a ceremony at the prestigious Louis C. Jacob Hotel in Hamburg, Germany. Zagars, an accomplished artist herself, had moved in with Redford in 1996, sharing his home in Sundance, Utah, and becoming an integral part of his personal and creative life. Their union reflected a mature partnership built on mutual respect, shared interests in art and culture, and a deep understanding of each other's lives shaped by decades of experience and previous relationships. This marriage, formed later in Redford's life, emphasized his enduring desire for companionship, love, and stability, further highlighting the human dimension behind his public persona as a legendary actor, director, and philanthropist. At the age of 89, Robert Redford, one of Hollywood's most enduring and iconic figures, finally opened up about his decades-long friendship and professional partnership with the legendary actor Paul Newman. Redford's reflections offer a rare and intimate glimpse into the depth of their bond, a connection that went far beyond the silver screen. In his remarks, Redford did not hold back, speaking candidly and with the kind of insight that only comes from a lifetime of shared experiences and mutual respect. Paul was the kind of person who made everyone around him better, Redford said, recalling the effortless charisma and humility that Newman carried both on and off camera. He described how, even at the height of fame, Newman never allowed success to cloud his sense of humanity or generosity. Redford's words convey not just admiration, but a deep personal affection that speaks to the rare kind of friendship forged in the crucible of Hollywood's pressures and the collaborative world of filmmaking. Redford also reflected on the unique dynamics of their professional collaborations. "We had this unspoken understanding on set," he explained. detailing how their mutual respect allowed them to push each other creatively while maintaining a light-hearted camaraderie that made long shooting days feel seamless. He reminisced about the countless hours they spent discussing character motivations, improvising scenes, and challenging each other to elevate performances, not for accolades, but for the love of the craft itself. These memories illustrate the profound artistic synergy that made their collaborations not only commercially successful, but also critically revered. Beyond work, Redford spoke of the personal impact Newman had on his life. He was more than a friend. He was like a brother, he revealed, touching on the personal support, counsel, and quiet encouragement that defined their decades-long relationship. Redford's words suggest that their bond was a rare mixture of companionship, mentorship, and mutual understanding, the kind of friendship that transcends ordinary social connections and leaves an enduring mark on one's life. Finally, Redford expressed a sense of gratitude and nostalgia, emphasizing how Newman's influence extended far beyond their own lives and careers. Paul taught me that success is measured by kindness, integrity, and the impact you have on people, Redford said, underscoring how Newman's legacy is not only cinematic but deeply human. In opening up at this late stage in life, Redford has provided fans, historians, and fellow actors a treasured window into the life of one of Hollywood's greatest duos, a testimony to friendship, artistry, and enduring respect that continues to resonate decades after their first shared frame.